coming up tonight. Welcome to eFIXX TV. Now for the intro we're doing something a little different because tonight the show is a little different. Tonight we're diving into inventions for electricians with the people who made them. Let's meet tonight's products. We've got the SpeedCutter, we've got the Spurlok, we've got the Cableboss, we've got Electrismo time-saving adapters, we've got the Stanic, we've got CHUMPFix, we've got BeadMaster, and we've got Lighthouse controls.
Electricians solve problems nobody else notices. And however, tonight we're going to be excited. We're going to do that thing every other YouTube channel does. We're currently being supported by LEW Electrical Distributors on this live stream. And if it's new to you, LEW, check out the link in the description. If you spend over £250, you can claim a £50 reward. And if you stay on to later on in the show, you can find out how you can take me and my friend out on a trip with you and your friend. But you'll have to wait and see what happens later on for that one. Early plug to get a seat. I think that was Gordon. How are you, mate?
Very good, very good. And it's a bit ambitious tonight, a little bit different to what we normally do on the show, as there's a lot of people here. And that gives us some logistical challenges, which we'll come on to when it comes to the challenge wall. But we can meet our guests in a little intro you've done, just so we can see what's coming up. So,
yes. So let's see the guests. For the first time ever, the Electrician Challenge has its own tall wall sponsor. And in true fashion, I've gone for the look that you would have in a college. So we've got a little shadow board here. But we need to know, first of all, whether the people taking on the wall are going to be using Klein or De-Klein. We're going to go over to Nao first. Are you going to use Klein or De-Klein?
I'm inclined to use Klein.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so we'll see. And you're one of the favourites because it's a 6-horse race. Okay, next person. So I didn't see you down there. Mick, what are you going to do? You're going to be Klein or De-Klein?
I'll Klein.
You're in Klein. Okay, good luck. Electrician background as well. You've kept that quiet. And Ben, Electrician Ben. And are you going to Klein or De-Klein?
Klein, I think.
Oh, you didn't bring your own tools, did you? Yeah, I forgot to tell them, I think. Here we go then. So, what are we going to go for, Mark?
Klein.
You're in for Klein. That was very good. Yeah, and you're a builder, aren't you?
Absolutely, I'm a builder. Don't know anything about
so
electrics.
they're not chisels, by the way. So no hammering chisels.
No, exactly.
Pete, plasterer Pete. Are you in Klein or De-Klein? You got your own tools in the van?
I have, but I'm too lazy to get them.
Right, so you're going for Klein. And finally, Mark. Okay, step forward, Mark. Okay. Klein or De-Klein?
Klein.
We're all Klein. So for the first time ever, 6 people will take on the race wall, but only 2 will go through to the final challenge. And we look forward to seeing who they are. We had a little flash up on a warning light this end. If you're just seeing a little bit of buffering, just skip back 60 seconds and it seems it'll run as smooth as butter. Talking of smoother butter, we've got to start with somebody first in here. That means you, Mark. You're up first. Reminds me of your haircut. So we're going to play your product at the same time. You're going to tell us a little bit about what you've invented then, Mark. So if you want to go through that for us.
Yeah, so it's an all-in-one hole cutter for plumbers and electricians for when they're first fixing their pipes and cables. It's got built-in intermittent material, so when you put your adapter in the drill, adapter in the hole cutter, drills into the drywall, leaves in the drywall, and it's got built-in intermittent, so if the Inventor of a fire, the intermittent will swell up and close off the gap.
So let's see that roll through now as we've gone there, and you can just give us a little bit of flavouring of what's going on as we've got the bit of kit. So if we bring the video up on screen now, so we're straight in with some decent flames there. So this is between 2 plasterboard walls, which is obviously what the cutter's designed for. We're not worried about a solid brick wall, but we're worried about fire penetrating from one room to the other, and you've come up with this solution that prevents that from happening. Is this a new build solution?
At the moment, yes, and at the moment it's got 30 minutes fire test certification, and then hopefully with the help of eFIXX, it will sell many more to give us some resources to do future testing for an hour plus, and then the other application that's been asked of.
Yeah, and I'm right in believing the same for downlight. It's actually harder to pass the 30-minute test than the 60-minute one.
Correct, yeah.
So, but it's just a case of raising the funds to get a 60-minute test.
Yeah,
done.
that's where we are at the moment.
It was incredible. You see that the intermittent pad coming out now. Look at that. Obviously, that is coming out. I think we're speeding up a fraction there just to show you what's happening in that short style video. That stopped it going through. Now, we don't know a lot about this, Gordon, do we?
No, we didn't know it was a thing until last week. We probably don't. A lot of the viewers probably don't know about it. So you've probably strayed across something, and obviously, with the current climate in terms of fires and big buildings.
Yeah. When I was a site manager for the national builders, the plumbers, electricians would use whatever size drill bit they had in their bag, and ultimately it would be a hammer, not a drill bit, and then damage the integrity of the plasterboard. I then struggled with the NHBC building control to get it passed. A lot of money, a lot of time remediating the plasterboard. And then I said in jest, wouldn't it be good if there was an all-in-one hole cutter with a built-in intermittent?
Right, just have a look at that. So just bring that in there. So the hole cutter's on, just rotate it around so you can see the blades. Lovely jubbly.
Yeah,
yes.
and then on the front you've got smoke acoustic sponge. But the flange itself would act as a smoke seal. That's the adapter that goes in the drill, that end. And then it's got magnetic with the pins that interlocks in there just to help it stay stable. And then literally spins around, poke the plasterboard in the hole.
Like that tip.
Yeah, and then pipe or cable just goes through.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, excellent. Really, really good. So next up then, so we're up with you, Mick. Okay, and Mick, you want to confirm you're from Sunderland before we start, is that right?
Middlesbrough.
It's close enough though, isn't it? We're all the same when we get up there. So we're going to roll your video through as well as we go through and talk here then. So tell us all about the Stanic.
The Stanic came about, obviously, working in the trade for many years, fitting ovens and hobs, and having to change the outlet, which is a standard practice, you know. And people were turning up with ovens with plugs on and gas hobs with igniters. So I thought, well, why doesn't just someone create one that'll do for both? And of course, that's it. The eureka moment came. The money's been spent, and now it's in production.
You're all in.
All in.
But it's one of those ideas, I think, that you can't believe when you see your invention that it wasn't done before. How can it be missed?
That's right.
Yeah.
Staring you in the face.
Yeah, absolutely, as it comes through. We now pushed it to its limit. They said it could use 16mm cable, so we did.
Yeah,
okay, so we wanted to prove to people that, yeah, the size it is. We used 6mm flex coming out of it as well, which was obviously an incredible ask for it at both ends, and it's just comfortable. There was no struggling whatsoever in order to do this.
No. When I asked the manufacturer, I said, make it of good quality, because the first thing people pick up on is rubbish.
Yeah, and you can get it at LEW, can't you?
Yeah, LEW and lots of other wholesalers now.
Okay, and they're sponsoring that. Clean finish, okay, obviously we do like that. Okay, so that's...
You didn't complain when you fitted it, actually, which is normally...
I didn't fit it, so that's Rick's hands.
Right.
You know, Rick does all the fitting, I just do all the videoing. Now, you chose the name, explain the name for us.
The name came from, well, it was the partner's name, Melanie. She decided, why don't we use the two daughters' names, Stacey and Nicole?
Yeah. Aren't
And
you really pleased that you weren't the sort of family that had sort of those incredibly like Apple, or you called your daughter, say, Endeavour? Okay, so the youngest daughter was called Endeavour, okay, and then maybe Bella was your oldest daughter, okay, and then you combined Bella and Endeavour to get your name. That might have been heartbreaking if you'd have sent that to Mark. Do you agree with that?
It could have been a bit.
If you shorten that one down,
Yeah.
okay, really good. Okay, so we're going, now it's to me, believe it or not, it sounds like it's me show. Okay, we're still struggling on the thing with the warning light up here on YouTube, but we'll press on anyhow. Behind me, I've got the CHUMPFix, and this is from Kieran Pye, okay? We're gonna run the videos we do this one to help me out here. So this is the CHUMPFix. So me and Rick have made a couple of videos on this, two different ways to actually prove its versatility, but it actually can be used in many ways. It can be used to repair a hole in a plastered wall, so you have a square or a hole cut out. You can use them as the patches behind it. That works great. We used it on a pull cord. It's often seen on site being used against a ceiling rose and pendant, which is fine. I think it's probably ideal for when you've taken down a ceiling rose and pendant as well, and you're putting up one of those ornate fittings that weigh considerably more than your pound pendant. But we can see how incredibly strong it is. Now, I chose a pull cord. I could have chose a shower cord in order to do this, but it is incredibly powerful. However, people said to me, oh, we don't believe how much weight it can hang on there. What could you do as a test? Well, online today, they put a 60 kilogram weight on it, but I stood on it.
Right.
I'd like to suggest that even after the diet, Gordon,
You're more than 60 kilos.
about an ounce or two, I think I put it to its limit. And we did that on a socket box. So it's incredibly, let's get a packet down here. It's incredibly universal for me. So it's not just for what hangs. It can be done for walls and repairs as well. And we'll probably end up making a few more. Put a fire alarm and things like that on as well. So that's
Smoke
a
alarms.
Yeah, smoke, don't go there. You had to mention it, didn't you? Yeah, you had the legal team in.
Love a retrofit smoke alarm, mate.
So that's Kieran's CHUMPFix. I'd also like to thank him because he's coming on eFIXX College Connections Roadshow. So the younger people that aren't quite in our industry will get a whiff of this. And that means maybe they'll tell their electricians there is another way. And we always like to have another way. Talking another way, Nao, it's your turn next. What have you got for us?
So my invention, Spurlok, is the most comprehensive solution to fuse spur unit isolation. It's a versatile solution to allow gas engineers, electricians, technicians, general maintenance engineers the ability to work safely on any equipment or appliance supplied by a fuse spur unit. It's been specifically designed to come as a package which contains everything needed to give maximum value to the end user. So that includes the tag out. So it's got a custom tag with a Yale padlock, marker pen, and a carry case as well with a carabiner clip. So it's essentially a compact, elegant, functional, and ergonomic solution for people willing to conduct isolation from fuse spur units.
Yeah, and the initial, you put it on LinkedIn as a young inventor, good-looking electrician. You put it on LinkedIn where the environment is really friendly over there. And there was one or two people kick back at you because they weren't understanding the fact that it does every single version, as we've got in front of us down here at the bottom, as I'm continue to point us, there it is, as we go there, every single version of the variants of a fuse connection unit, okay, your lock works with. Because people said you could just use the padlock, but that is not the case on all the varieties, is it?
No, 100%. It was specifically designed to allow people to isolate multiple types of fuse spur unit using one device, and that was the gap in the market that I saw. There were things that allow people to isolate, but I didn't think it was compliant with the regulations, BS 7671, Gas Safe Technical Bulletin 118A, electricity at work regulations, and they all refer to mechanically securing the isolator or the switch in the off position, which is something I wanted to adhere to. And I feel like Spurlok, with Spurlok, I've achieved that for a multitude of fuse spur units. So yeah, it's also been specifically designed so the fuse has to be removed from the carrier prior to using Spurlok, as the body of Spurlok will populate the area or the cavity where the fuse would usually reside.
And you've designed it to be like the iPhone of safe isolation kit. You want this to be something people want to own and not just be slung in the bottom of the box. And it is high-end, it's premium, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the things people, what I've realised when it comes to safety products, they're predominantly designed around function, which is great because you need a functional product that has to be at the core of your product. But I think that one of the things that I think is missing is the aesthetic appeal, the ergonomic appeal. With Spurlok, I've tried to capture the imagination of the end user. I want people to have a look at that on a shelf, and from the packaging, you might not be able to see how it works, but you know what it does. It's a fused spur lockout device, and I'd like to think that it's vibrant and it will just sort of make you wonder and sort of start that inquisition. Particularly when it comes to the younger generation of electricians, gas engineers, we've got to be finding ways to entice them into improving their working practices, making a safer working environment for them. And I feel like we've got to find a way to not tap into them, but get through to them the importance of safe isolation in a way that is desirable and effective.
Well, best picture of the night, I would suggest now.
And if Steve Jobs had lockout kits, it would probably come in a box like that.
Yeah, it would do.
I thought I was really excited when it first turned up, and then passed it to Gary because he loves a fused a fused spur, don't you, Gary?
Yeah, and again, you've come on the eFIXX College Connections with me, so we are getting in the hands of those young people, and it's one of the prizes I give out, so I thank you for that as well. Ben, you're next up.
Thank you. Well, I'm the inventor of the Lighthouse control unit, which is a unit that is hopefully going to be the best practice for installing wireless receivers into electrical systems. Most of the gear that's in there, electricians will have already used for many years, but I wanted to speed up the way that we're installing these and hopefully reduce some of the issues that arise when it comes to inspecting those systems. Mainly, the internal safety barrier there allows end users to operate the receivers, which isn't usually possible. I also wanted to put a rapid fit connection in there, which made it really easy to connect up on site. All comes pre-wired, which means there's no dress work to be done on site, and also benefits from the convenience of an isolator switch and a socket out there, which a lighting circuit doesn't usually come with, but with the socket outlet being there, you're able to do a ZS and also use a polarity check as well. So convenient, quick, and hopefully a much easier, better way of installing this gear into a job.
You ever thought about using a fuse connection unit so Neo could get in on the party? Yeah, you could have a locking kit with it.
Just earlier, actually. Yeah.
Absolutely done him there. Right, Gordon. Nice.
I love this product. Yeah, I mean, if that would have, I wish I'd had that about 10 years ago. Because yeah, under my stairs cupboard looks awful. tried to make a decent job with all those smart home modules.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a good look, the twin and earth going into a cable clamp, is it?
No.
Not a good look. So this is great. I mean, this was...
and just another one for me, how do you convince a customer to go wireless with their switches? You had a really good solution for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've installed about 10 customers with the solution. They're looking to you as an electrician to deliver lighting control. Now, if you decide to go with wireless, or if you decide to go with a wired switch is up to you. But I think the way you sell it to the customer is it's just a way that you do it. It seems like a natural transition to give them something that causes far less damage, which has a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they don't care. They just want to be able to turn the light on and off, don't they?
That's right.
So, and you're like, yeah, because I'm not the electrician, I'm the customer. Pete, plasterer Pete.
Oh, I thought it was dropping off then. You surprised them there, Gary.
Well, you didn't come for the dress rehearsal because you were off doing some plastering for us, weren't you?
I was.
Driven all the way up from where?
Southend.
And you left at 3 o'clock this morning. Tell me all about what we've got with you, Pete, as we play your video clip, which is one of the viral ones we've got as well. So you've got to talk now, Pete. You want silent? Yeah. No. It did all right. It millions of people viewing it. But for those who've never seen this before, what is it doing for the electrician and the end user?
The most obvious thing is it keeps the plaster out of the box.
Yes. And I would say away from your cables. And the one thing a plasterer would like in an ultimate world would be nothing on the wall and it just be a smooth wall before he starts. Or she starts, or they start. Yeah, do you agree with that? Yeah. By having those beads on, they get their wish, don't they? The plasterer gets their wish. Electrician gets no muck in their box. But what does the end user get?
Nice sharp edge.
Nice sharp edge. So, especially now we're getting thinner and thinner profiles around our more fancier switches, not these big plastic hangover ones. But, you know, the box edges, they look incredibly crisp. No fillering in there or, God forbid, corking.
From my own point of view of using them myself, when you get a whole bank of sockets, it reconstructs the little bits between the sockets, which are never there. They're never there. If you cut them out with plasterboard, there's not enough support for it to stay in position. But with this, you just cut that edge down, bottom up. The plaster going through there holds it all together. You might say, yeah, but that's covered by the edge of the switch, it doesn't matter. But it does matter when it comes to air tests. And if you've got a gap there, you can see a bit of shadow through there, it's just shoddy, isn't it? People put cork down them, and, you know, but with these, plaster it solid.
Yeah, and again, there is a chance to maybe make off some of those electrical connections, carry out some dead testing and things like that as well, because obviously it's beyond that protective shield as well. Who's next up? Is it me again? It's me again. Right, Electrismo, let's play my video. This one hasn't gone out. The other one went mega viral. Let's put this one out, and I talk in this one. These are the Electrismo time-saving adapters, without and with a thread. Make sure you stay on to the end for the unique feature they both have. I've all faced this before, where the lug on a socket box is too large for the 3.5 machine screw. In comes the Electrismo with thread. You know, it's a side is filled in on this one because it goes on the fixed lug. Now you have a thread. The other side has the open-sided one, where you can see there the threaded insert in it, and now you've solved the problem on both sides. We've all had a call out with this, the pinch cable, where the customers had to go at changing the outlet themselves. So how do we solve this problem? In comes the Electrismo without a thread. We pick up the two. We've got one with a fixed side and one with an open side onto the removable lug, exactly the same as we did with the threaded ones, and the solid side on the fixed lug. With the Electrismo adapters fitted, you can no longer have cables behind the 3.5 machine screw, removing the chance of screwing into them. When it comes to screwing into the back of socket boxes, we've all struggled at times to find the hole. However, with the Electrismo adapters, both of them have the unique feature of a self-guiding front. So the 3.5 machine screw automatically finds its way into the correct location every time.
That's a lovely idea.
They were invented by BeadMaster, okay? That was the inventor, over 40 years worth of experience in the electrical industry, and the time-saving adapters came from all of that experience. Now, we made a series of 3 videos. So we highlighted in the first one, which we released, the red time-saving adapter there, which was to repair holes that were too big, and we've all had that before. Maybe the box is in great condition, but you come along, someone's expanded that screw, put a wood screw in, and obviously that adapter solves that problem. Then obviously we've got the white time-saving adapter, which is also same problem it solves with the red one, but there is no thread inside the white one. The white one is purely there to aid you in, and we've done it. How many times have you done it where you've got that kitchen, someone's put a load of extra insulation or boarding on it, and the box seems like it's next door, Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're working out.
No, it was at first fixed a load of stuff, and then the builder put insulated board on the top, which literally meant the back box was next door.
Yeah,
and I always wondered who bought those 100mm long M3.5 screws at the wholesalers. And yeah, I know why now.
And buying it's one thing, okay? Getting it into the hole, Gordon, at any age can be a challenge. So of course, the way they've like chamfered in the actual entry points, the screw comes in and always finds its way into the hole. So the white ones are there providing 2 functions, make it easy to get in, but you can't screw into the cable. As you saw on that video, both of them have that same technology built into them. And again, how many times do you pinch those cables you couldn't see going in? Just nick.
I think that's great. I mean, I guess everyone around the table tonight is solving problems that are probably hiding in plain sight, but this industry's been quite low on innovation, really.
It has.
And it's, sometimes people who aren't electricians solving problems for electricians. And it's good. I like this. This is good. We're going to dig into that a little bit more. Who actually fits the stuff? Yeah,
we are. And the questions come up. The time-saving adapter went out on a video that I made for them. That was the video they wanted, the 3rd one in the series. It's a trilogy. So we've had the opening one, the Star Wars event. And of course, it took everyone by surprise, like Star Wars did in 1977. So I sent out my epic production. Not many people at Electrismo thought it was going to be the hit it was. I'd just like to say the millions of people that obviously watched that video, and I'll say it again, the millions of people that watched it, made them sell out 30,000 units in less than 1 day. They expect to stock back within less than 3 weeks. In order to find out when they're back in stock, check out the eFIXX Instagram page as well as Electrismo's, and on both simultaneously we will announce they're back in stock, and you can go over to Amazon and fill your boats before Empire Strikes Back comes out, which will be the 2nd one in the series. So thank you very much for the good people at Electrismo with the time-saving adapter. Mark.
Hello.
Cableboss.
Yes, indeed. So we created the yellow bracket, that was a wax positioning cables, and then customer demand then.
Go on. Yeah, go on. Sorry, no, it's okay. This got right. Okay, you brought it in a bit early. It's got words in it. That's okay. Carry on.
And then we moved on to a commercial product, really. So a metal bracket, really taking cables from the central communal hallway into apartment blocks. You can use our brackets now to position, separate your cables, power, fire and data. You've got clear separation. And then we're seeing a lot of people now using our brackets for a retrofit, essentially. So if you want to extend the use of your cable tray, you might have to add additional PoE cables into a store, for example. So we're finding people are now bolting our brackets to the side of tray, even hanging them underneath tray. We've got prefixed M6 holes, and we're finding people are using them in that way now.
We have got a photograph, but there's an incredible amount of photographs. So while we continue to talk, maybe we'll try and dig out some of those. So I came to the show, then we were in Bolton at a show together.
Yeah, indeed.
And you walk up to it and you go, I don't know why nobody else has done that. Like we've said as we go round. And all of a sudden, we've got a cable tray, maybe in a suspended ceiling high up in the supermarket, and we've got to run some extra Cat 5, Cat 6 cables.
Yeah.
And all the infrastructure's there, but I can't put band 1 and band 2 together. There's no segregation on the tray. We pop your one underneath, and we've saved a lot of environmental costs. Maybe drilling the fabric of the building could be an issue.
No, exactly, and we're hearing that a lot. So some existing buildings that you might have asbestos in those ceilings, you don't want to create a lot more dust. So rather than lashing those cables to the side of existing tray, by bolting these, they're self-supporting, so you've got the ability to expand your tray by, say, 300 on either side of that tray, or as we've shown there, underneath, or even stack them on the M6 threaded bar.
Yeah.
So there's lots of functionality, lots of ability to use that, and a lot lighter to use, as opposed to adding more tray to the system.
And it looks like there'll be another video for you because we've got 2 solutions using these already. This becomes another solution out there in the market.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And we've got a smaller bracket as well, so if you've just got a few cables to add in, you don't have to use the larger one, you've got functionality as well.
Shall we run the video? I think it's got audio as well. Maybe we'll run it in a second, so okay. Yeah, we're ready.
So I've come down to eFIXX top secret research, development and testing laboratory where we're going to be looking at this, the Cableboss. Now you might recognise the CB01, but the products I'm interested in are these, the CB02 and the CB03. These are being offered as an alternative solution for tray, basket and trunking. It wouldn't be an eFIXX test if we didn't have a race. For this race, I'm going to be taking on the Geordie Exocet Missile, Andy Bellis. And all I've asked Andy to do is to fit 2 lengths of 4-inch tray using cantilever brackets. The guys at Cableboss say that it can save time, money and space. Jalapenos. So, let's go. These are being offered as an alternative solution for tray, basket and trunking, perhaps above a suspended ceiling or in an industrial plant room. You've got various types of fixing and they bend really easily so you can get the right angle for them. And we have what they call this cable gate. You can open the gate and just drop the cable in.
Flawless victory.
Fitting the CB02 above a suspended ceiling does make a lot of sense. It's a really quick and easy way to support cable so they are not resting on the ceiling tiles. With easily accessible fixing points, you can secure it using either a drill or a nail gun, and this is going to save time on site. CB02 supports multiple cable runs, so you only need to fit the one. This job, it's managing the data point cables heading to a projector post. The CB02 can also be fitted to walls, supporting both cables and conduits with ease. It's designed to accommodate standard 20mm conduits. And watch this space, as a new product for conduit will be launching very soon. Be sure to check this product out at cableboss.co.uk.
I would argue coming up with the idea possibly is the easiest part of a journey that someone's going to take from maybe that cigarette packet to obviously selling it maybe across a wholesale account or going viral and selling it across the world. So shall we dig in with a few of your style questions because you can dig away at people?
Yeah, I mean, it should be. I mean, who wants to take it first? Inspiration. Well, I'll start with you, Mark. Where did the inspiration come from?
Literally from working with the national builders, that the problem I thought was maintained or contained with just one site to every site I was going on.
Right.
So I knew then it was a bigger problem, that a site problem. It was like a national problem.
Right.
And it was basically eliminating human error.
Right.
Whereas, as I say, electrician plumbers didn't know about fire stopping. Dare I say, didn't care too much about it. And it was just a solution to eliminate any human error of damaging plasterboard, and it fire stops in one go.
Right, so just to get clear, when people drill through a fire barrier, it should be resealed to the level of integrity that was perhaps there beforehand.
Correct.
Am I right in thinking, though, that specialist contractors do that as well?
They do, but obviously they have to be called in at certain times, usually after first fix. And 9 times out of 10 when they come on site, they're more repairing the plasterboard than just applying the intermittent mastic.
Right.
So therefore, and then even after they've been and signed off the fire stopping, it doesn't prevent anyone else, other trades, coming in, putting their additional pipes or cables through and not reporting that to the site manager to get the fire stopper back, to get the integrity back.
Right, and is this the sort of thing build and control are quite red hot on?
Yeah, very much so. So I've had good feedback from the NHBC, but obviously they can't endorse product, so
yeah.
I'm relying on other sources to get it into market.
Right, but this is a product that electricians or plumbers can fit.
Yeah, or a dry liner so if the supervisor of electrical or plumbing mark out where they want the holes, a dry liner can put them in, a fire stopper can put them in because they've already got certification as a company.
Yeah.
There's many ways you could use this if a plumber electrician didn't feel comfortable, but there's nothing out of the ordinary. They're used to holding a drill and they're used to drilling holes. So there's nothing out of the ordinary of what they usually do.
And I like the fact you could add more afterwards, so
Yeah.
that hole is open to push.
You're never breaking the fire seal because obviously there's no mastic. It would only activate obviously in the event of a fire.
Yeah. Same question to you. Eureka moment then for you, Pete.
Eureka moment.
Just 1 or 2 of them, please. You've had a few.
I had a job where I had a massive ceiling, which was about 90 metres on one ceiling, and I had 70 lights in that ceiling, and those lights were a metre spaced apart. So it was a really high class job, and I had about 7 switch circuits all on the ceiling. Some of it was two-way, some of it was intermediates as well. So I wanted to get all the cables down and be 100% confident that everything was right before plastering the ceiling. But of course, by doing that, I've ended up with hundreds of holes in the ceiling. Somebody went to help me plaster the ceiling, didn't turn up. I had a marble floor going down the next day, so it had to be done. So I did it myself, damn near killed myself. But the next day I thought, there must be a way of getting over that problem, because every electrician wants to get their cables down and test them and verify them, but the plasterers are going to walk away in a lot of occasions because they don't like working around a hole. It's dangerous working around a hole, you know, eye full of muck. So initially I came out with a spotlight bead.
Yeah.
And that's what it was for. It was so we could just whack straight over. We've got our cables out, we've done our testing, we've verified everything. We can leave it live, pop it up, skim over it. Plasterers can use speed skims on poles. And it was only when I had a 3D print done of that, and I didn't even put it in the wall, I just looked at it and thought, it's the same on sockets. When you have dot and dab walls, and the sheet's sunk a little bit and you've got a 6mm gap underneath it, there's not really a good way of doing that. If you foam it and put scrim over it, it's not strong enough. Once the face goes on, it will crack away. If you solid fill it, bonding or something, then if someone hits the wall, the board's got movement, the box hasn't because it's on the blocks, and it will crack. So with these ones, because it goes onto the face of the board, it has differential movement because the box is separate from the sides. So you can literally kick it about and it won't crack once it's in position. But obviously we're keeping the muck out of the box. It can enable early termination testing if people want to work in that way.
It's good, and we saw that 6 or 7 years ago. I think me and Joe Robinson made a video on it, but it links nicely into yours, doesn't it, Mark? Yeah. Your solutions partly the problem that
exactly. So I've got a building company, and I find consistently guys would call me up saying we've got holes in our ceilings, or we've lost our cables, we've drilled a hole, we know where our cable should be, but they're not there. And increasingly nowadays we're insulating ceilings, acoustic insulation, it's moving cables left, right and centre, and invariably you then have to drill a hole or an access hole to find that next cable. So for us it was just a case of simple things. Surely there must be a solution to allow us to clip a cable into a position and let it float essentially in that void, and there wasn't. So that was my eureka moment really. How do I stop this pain? Is there another solution out there? There didn't seem to be, and we created the Cableboss bracket, which was the first yellow bracket we came up with.
Yeah, that's good. Your eureka moment, Nemo, is not quite what they wanted to be, was it? Right? You know, go on and do us your moment.
Yeah, so my eureka moment was I was working the night shift in a steel factory, and one of the workers on the day shift had actually received an electric shock from a faulty water cooler, and I was tasked with essentially making it safe for the next shift to make sure that no one else sort of was injured by this water cooler. And I went to my manager at the time and I said to him, look, it's fed by a fuse spur unit, what have you got that I can use to isolate from the fuse spur unit? And he sort of pulled out sort of some random bit of wire and a bit of scrap paper he had, and he scribbled on it, do not use, and he said just chuck that round it. And I was thinking to myself, I can't remember seeing this in the 17th edition when I did it. I don't know what it is, but I just can't remember seeing this particular regulation. So it just got me thinking about how can I find a way to achieve the same outcome but to comply with regulations at the same time. And then essentially that was where the seed was sort of planted for Spurlok. And then it's just been a journey from that point on of personal development in order to sort of become the person that's capable of bringing a product to market and making something that's functional and appealing, and also allows compliance with regulation. So essentially, yeah, it all started from a grubby steel factory in the Black Country, and yeah, it's brought me to sunny Skipton.
But it started with an electric shock is where it was, and thankfully that didn't lead to a more serious injury, but that shows the importance of it.
And we're all human. One of the things, I was an industrial engineer, so all the equipment I was working on was three-phase panels, anything up to 1,000 volts DC, big inverters, not just injury from electrical shock, but also from inadvertent movement of machinery. So it was really drilled into me the importance of health and safety, and I think that has helped preserve me and a lot of my faculties today. But I think I'm sort of coming off the back of that. I'm using that to sort of hopefully share that ethos with the next generation of people coming through. The generation who are going to be helping us build this sustainable world that we need to keep the planet sustainable. And I think one of the ways to do that is through engaging products.
Yeah, well put again. Well, 2-0 you are, aren't you? Then follow that.
Oh, well. I remember the first time I was using the kinetic packs, which I've actually used in the prototype of that unit. But it doesn't mean it is limited to the kinetic packs. Obviously, we can use any wireless receiver in there. But the benefits of the wireless receivers most people already know about. They've been around for some time. It speeds up wiring, no channeling walls, anything like that. And the house that I was going to rewire for the customer had bad work done. Is why we needed to rewire. So it wasn't something that they were expecting. And of course, as most customers will do, they'll move into a new house. The first thing that they want to do is decorate, make it their own. And of course, what do you now do when you have to start running new wires because there's no CPC, because of the wiring system so old? So I used wireless receivers to overcome that problem. It meant I didn't have to channel any walls. It also meant I installed it quicker, but not as quick as I would like. I fitted all of the receivers, wired it all up, a lot of dress work. Knees were hurting afterwards. It was just below hip height. And then, of course, I wanted to test everything as well, but of course, I can't do R1, R2s because I have to undo all of my work. So that was another problem as well. And I thought, well, I like the tech, I like the stuff, but there's got to be a quicker way of doing it. And I was thinking, well, if I can overcome the problem of the testing and maybe kind of build some of this stuff off-site before I bring it, and then all I've got to do is tether up the wires, what would need to happen? And I started playing around with some kind of concept thereof. But very quickly, I spoke to a plastic manufacturer and told me what was possible. So I gave them a sketch. They'd done up a CAD design. And within about a month or two, I had a working prototype. From there on, I can see how this is going to benefit an already used technology. And based on the various different innovations that I've been able to put in it, it all just strengthens the offer for wireless receivers in wiring. Okay. And I'm a big advocate for wireless switching anyway.
If I put that into ChatGPT and told me to give the key points to the audience, knees were killing him. That was it. That was the reason you did that one. Absolutely killing him on his knees. It's all about your own personal pain, that was. The rest of the journey's been a joy. Talking of a joyful journey, you popped in to see us randomly one day, didn't you? Yeah. Mick, so what was your Eureka moment?
My Eureka moment was doing the job as long as I have and just fitting basically the outlet. Yep. Everybody, the standard cooker outlet. More and more people were saying. And
let's be fair, the ones that are in the market aren't very good anyway, are they?
No.
Yeah, I mean that even without the socket, that's a good cooker outlet.
Yeah.
I mean,
good terminals.
I believe I've just said that. There you go.
Lots of people have said the terminals are great on it. It feels like a good product. It is a good product. But then, like I say, more and more people are saying, "Can you come back and fit me a socket now? Because I've changed oven." And we do a lot of social housing, council housing, people moving in and out. Can you go back? They've turned up with a gas oven and it's got a plug on it. Right. So can you swap that for that or add that to that? Yeah. And I thought, well, why doesn't somebody just make one that does both? Future-proof it. Done. Job done.
But that's a big jump, though, isn't it? From thinking about it, like everyone in here has had to do to getting it onto the next stage. But it seems too easy, doesn't it?
That's it. It was staring people in the face, but obviously nobody ever noticed it.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, they reckon Gary invented the clock connector because that was a problem back then when you had a 2 amp fused clock connector. So did you think of putting a plug next to it, Gary, for a table lamp?
Well, yeah. We'll go with that one. Right, here's one for you, Pete. You start the next one off. Okay, so describe your product in 3 words. Everyone else can have time to think. No one's hearing anything at home at the moment. The telly's quiet. Might be buffering. They'll be wondering why. Apologise, we've had a warning. Just go back 20 minutes, you'll be fine on the buffering.
Solves old problem.
Solves old problems. All right, okay, so it's a baseball bat. Okay, Ben?
Best industry practice.
All right, oh, that's robbed you of that one, isn't it? Let's go for Mark.
Quick, easy installs.
Okay, and Mark?
Well, mine's for all-in-one hole cutter.
Got 3 for me?
5 words, actually.
Future-proof installs.
Yeah, there you go.
Demo?
I'd probably say sleek, functional, compact.
I didn't describe yourself. Brilliant. What's next, Gordon, on the list? What are you going for next?
That was good. Obviously, bringing a product to market is an incredibly brave thing to do. And you know, I've been through the loop a few times in the past. It's a torturous journey, isn't it? Things sometimes never happen as quickly as people would say. You know, you place orders for tooling, it's late, it doesn't quite come out, it can be a nightmare. You've been that, but obviously the acid test of any product is getting some sales, and you know, clearly we've demonstrated there's problems to be solved. How are you selling? How are you going about selling the product?
Well, I think the starting point typically is nowadays social media. So you need to get awareness. So that's one of the hardest things, I think. Yes, you can create a website, but then you need to understand what Shopify is, or do you get online sales? Do you try and get into wholesalers? So it's quite a long-winded approach, really. There's so many avenues now, and yet you always have to support that with social media. People can see that and see demonstrations of that. So I think for me, as a starting point, it was not only understanding websites, but also then the social media side of things, like doing this.
Right.
You know, it's quite alien for a lot of us.
So are you selling direct, or?
We're doing both, to be honest,
Right.
because when you're trying to create a product that I suppose is awareness and also changing of what we do. Obviously, you can first fix the cable in a ceiling without a Cableboss bracket, without a BeadMaster bead, but you need to get that awareness. Why would I? What's the benefits? And getting that communicated over takes time. So we sell online, and that gets product into people's hands. And we hope, obviously, those people would take those brackets then to a wholesaler and say, can you get me some of these? And typically, the contractor talking to the wholesaler will hopefully generate a call to us.
Yeah, and that's we hear that all the time, is wholesalers aren't the magic wand. Everyone says, oh, I'll get it in 600 wholesalers straight away, they'll be desperate for this product.
Yeah.
They won't do that unless someone's creating the demand.
No, exactly. And understandably, to a certain extent, you know, if you're a wholesaler, there's so many products that are available. You want to stock the ones that are going to sell. We all think our products will sell, and we know they will, but it's a case of what we need is lots of contractors, lots of people asking, can you get? And when that happens, invariably we do get phone calls, but it's keeping that communication.
Yeah, and you're earlier in that journey, aren't you, mate? You've just started getting a few tinkles, haven't you?
Yeah, getting a few wholesalers on board, including LEW and 14 or 15 others, starting in the northeast, but now it's spreading. And I'm getting
Sunderland, you're working on, hometown?
No, it seems to be the Stockton branch has taken it on in LEW. Do you happen to use the Stockton branch?
Yes, we have used the Stockton branch.
Yeah, good customer for many years?
Yeah, good customer for many years.
Yeah. Now, do you buy them for your own jobs from that wholesaler?
I don't actually buy them from any wholesaler for my own jobs. It's a gift, I suppose.
It's a whole new world for you. Social media wasn't on your radar, was it?
No, definitely not.
I bet it was brave to come here that day. You just turned up, did you?
It was. I was just driving around independent wholesalers, looking up the addresses. Right, we'll go and visit them, and then obviously you were the last stop home, and luckily enough, it was one of the best stops I made.
Well, yeah, but you made a great product. If you turned up with something completely junk, we'd have blown you out.
Thanks, but no thanks.
We wouldn't have got those 12 delicious beers, will we, at Christmas? Did you enjoy yours?
No, I was away.
Oh, well,
You hijacked the parcel.
We had this thing, we'll just do a quick story, we did this thing over Christmas. I had a week off in Christmas, first week in December, and a parcel arrived, and my name was on that parcel. So we created a video, suggesting that, Gary, where are you? And he opened it and kept the entire contents, but it was a head torch and a pair of socks. The next 4 baskets that came in were cram-packed full of alcoholic beverages and all kinds of delicious things. I applied the same rules. You didn't get a sniff, did you? That head torch is the best head torch you've ever had.
Yeah.
Mark, your moment. Oh no,
selling.
So we've got one more. 3 words. 3 words.
No, we've done the 3 words.
We've done 3 words.
We've done the 3 words. How we're selling the product now. You see, I think you must have had those 12 beers before we came on.
Trust me, I've had a stressful day. I'll come back to that at some point. I've had a stressful day.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mark, you're not. Are you selling now?
It's available to be sold.
Available to be sold.
Or to be bought, should I say. Just trying to get it into market at the moment, finding who's the end user. For many years was focusing on the intermittent companies, the manufacturers.
Yeah.
But obviously the demand, and the demand is the electrician, the plumber, that actually is going to create the hole. So their USP will be they could fire stop their own penetrations.
And this is, I say, this was something that hasn't been on our radar for 5 years. You know, people have managed to avoid us. Yeah. I think you've certainly hit. We see loads of solutions for big installs with cable baskets and things like that, and tray with massive cables going through walls, but not at this level. So yeah.
Your journey to market, Pete's been interesting because did you not license it to somebody for a while? Is that where you tried that route just to give people the experience that you had? Please keep it, civil, inside this room. So you licensed it out, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I initially put a video on LinkedIn. I'd never done social media. I didn't have any social media at all when I started this. I joined LinkedIn. The builder I was working for that day, good mate of mine, his son did a video, and that video I put on LinkedIn. Within a week of that, Wilmot Dixon were trialling them.
Right.
Literally every big builder contacted me about it. Just, they're dumbing down the product in so much as they're only using it for, they don't want any making good. As an example, Wilmot Dixon actually done a cost study. Everyone says it's not, I've actually got evidence of it. But by the time you've snagged a problem and then gone back to the office, made it into a job, it's gone to an electrician comes out, isolates it, painter comes out, fills it, paints it, electrician's got to go back, is then supposed to test it, and then the snagging foreman's got to come back. Every part of that has a value, and they're saying £170 is the value of doing one socket.
Right.
And before using my beads, they were making good 5 sockets per dwelling. Now they're making good 2.
Okay.
So that 3 eliminates the cost. And on top of that, they've got a better job. They're getting sharper, cleaner lines, and something that won't crack because of the differential movement.
Yeah, that's good. Now, so you're in a different part. You started a journey. You've had a little pause. I think you got a fantastic house in the last 13 months.
Yeah.
But it did put Spurlok on slightly on pause.
Exactly.
What's the plan for the next 12 months?
Yeah, so essentially with Spurlok, because I put so much work into making the product as exceptional as it is, if I do say so myself, I thought I had to do it justice on the marketing front and put the same effort into the marketing, the social media, and making people aware of the product. The first step, I think, is understanding your consumer, because when you first make a product, you sometimes have an idea about who your customer is, but that can change along the journey. But for example, with Spurlok, when I made Spurlok, it was a product for electricians because I was an electrician at the time. But as I've gone along my journey and I've sort of conducted some market research, I've started to realise that this is actually lends itself more towards gas engineers, towards maintenance technicians, people who do have service contracts with any sort of portable appliance that needs to be isolated, by a fuse spur unit. So that changes as you go along. And my job now is to find my customers and direct them towards me. So I've started off B2C, going directly to the customer, just because I feel like that's where the feedback is, that's where the value is in terms of trying to identify exactly what people's needs are and whether you're satisfying them. So for me, it's spurlok.com. I'll also be at the NEC Installer Show from the 24th to the 26th of June as well. So we'll be there, we're selling products there as well. I had to get that in. But yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come. Already, without any marketing effort really being done on having people from all over the country, from Scotland as well, from Wales, all over the country purchasing Spurlok. So I know the potential's there. I've just got to execute now.
Yeah. And it probably is in those, I'll say the P word, plumbers.
Yeah.
They're entitled to safely isolate as well. You know, I mean, apparently they just used blue or red tape in the past, really, just to put across the spur.
Any large company like the ones that you've been to that have a safe isolation procedure could easily mandate that.
Yeah.
As in as that process. Now, Ben, your journey's a little bit, I don't know, nearer the start line, I would suggest. You haven't had that many out in the wild that you haven't fitted yourself.
Right.
So what's the next step in the business to obviously get Lighthouse out there so it's getting in more people's hands?
Yeah, I think it's like an awareness thing. Like electricians will know about the stuff that's in them, but it's that best practice that I try to educate on when I make the marketing and whatnot. I think the route to market's been a little bit difficult. Getting hold of the electricians that are the decision makers is quite tough, and running this alongside my own electrical business does mean that there is some time problems there. I can't give it all the time. It's not my main venture, but I'm convinced that it's going to speed things up for people, certainly electricians, and ideally it's if you can see like the benefits of it, definitely give it a go. It's available to get. You can reach out to me on social media, lighthousecontrols.co.uk. Just see what you can do, really.
I think everybody sitting here and the two that aren't sitting here, if you just Google their name, they're the #1 search items. There's plenty of videos out there from us as well. There's probably some adjustable links inside the description that we can put in and drop out. And I'm sure people that are commenting are adding links in as well to help you. But it'd be impossible not to find a BeadMaster or a Endeavour and Bella thing, whatever it was called that you invented. Yeah. So, you like that one, don't you?
Well, I mean, again, just circle back, like you've solved, again, we see loads of this type of things, electronic people developing widgets, should we say, for the market.
Right.
We had Shelley in before Christmas. There's these modules here, there's loads of these little pucks and things like that that are possibly designed for the European market. And people forget over here, we still sometimes have to live with 16mm deep back boxes. So the chance of putting a bit of electronics behind a switch,
right?
Yeah, then they miss out the fact that you might have to have a CPC floating around somewhere. Don't give you anywhere to park it. So I've seen loads of people create their own sort of DIY solutions, which can range from a knockout box to having to drill all sorts of enclosures stuffed away in the loft. I think it's a good solution.
And again, I like the fact that you can two-way a circuit that the customers forgot instantly. Can you? It's not even a struggle, is it, Ben? You just walk in, you pair another switch, another switch, another switch, another switch of any different styles and varieties. You can have them in the garden, they're IP rated. There's no back. You put a switch in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you blown anyone away with that moment? We're going to just you're going to be the one with a switch in the bathroom, you dangerous fella.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's totally possible. There's no power at that switch. So, it can go in the bathroom. You can use it to control your fan as well. What I like most about that is the internal safety barrier, because now what that allows you to do is have the customer buy the wireless switch if they want. They can then use just take the front cover off. It's perfectly safe for them to do so. It's all labelled up because you've got all the zones there. If it's the bedroom lights, you just hit the pairing button, which is simple enough to do. Give the switch a click, and then you can fit that in your bedroom. You don't even need an electrician. I like the idea that if this was in a rental property, you don't need to send the electrician round to achieve that. In fact, actually, just your handyman will do. The same is true as if you break one of your switches. Typically, you'd need an electrician to go out there, replace that switch. This isn't true in this case. In this case, actually, all you do is you just pair a new switch and then fit it in place. So it makes it far more accessible to repair it, and it reduces that time, removes the need for an electrician in that scenario.
Breaking news. This is the BeadMaster single socket and fuse connection plate, not for switches because they are kinetic ones and have no back box. So there you go, just want a little update there for me. Don't get confused, this is for light switches, folks. Single sockets and fuse connection units. Breaking news. BeadMaster, you heard it here first. Thank you, Pete. Well, great invention. Don't want them for light switches. There's no cables at light switches. Okay,
no, still need sockets though. Certainly can't do those wireless.
Okay. Gordon, what's question would you like? Are you going to choose? We've got that many. I don't want to choose them in order because we won't get section number 1.
Obviously, inventing a product, spent a lot of money on an idea, tool, and you start showing it to the world. Yeah, some unscrupulous people out there might just decide, I'm going to make that myself. I'm going to leave you with your manufacturing obligations, or in other words, copy the product.
Yeah.
So I guess, how have people gone about protecting their product, really? So that's a...
Go on, Mick, you're early in this journey. You've spent a lot of money.
I spent a lot
You
of
had a
money.
full set of hair when you started, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 6'2".
Yeah.
No, getting the patent is one of the biggest things.
Financial or stress or what?
Both.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, you send out NDAs, sign this, no, I won't sign it. But you can't show them the product until you've got some, backup. And the patent lawyer kept telling me, no, don't tell anybody unless they would sign it. So I eventually got it granted, but then I didn't realise it gets backdated to the first day you applied for it.
You're already burning through
So
years.
you've lost, yeah.
How many years is your patent last?
25 years, but you've got to pay for it every year.
Oh, nice.
It goes up every year.
So does your insurance. Yeah. So same difference.
Yeah.
Wow. What if you miss it? Is it like your website? Would you
get
not have it?
some grace, and then you've lost it.
Right.
So then it's free.
Free
Free market after that. And I've also protected the look of it, the design. So, because I thought the patent covered everything. And then someone said, well, have you protect how it looks? So, well, the patent does that.
I don't think you protected the slotted screw in the back, did you? I think they've been out a while.
So you have to protect the actual look of the thing, which is another cost, obviously.
Your journey's been a long one, Mark. 2014 you started this journey.
That's correct.
10-year anniversary. Are you burning through your painting?
Yes, so many territories, UK, countries in Europe, USA, UAE, Saudi Arabia and India. And as Mick said, there's constant costs coming through, but we've no income coming in. That's a hell of a lot of resources to go out.
Yeah.
But hopefully when it does, it'll be worth the while because you're protected.
So we made a video of it being used where there was a fire. Was there another video out in the wild like that? Because we saw one of them being fitted.
Yeah, so it's only on social media of the SpeedCutter website.
Right.
A few videos, installation guide.
Okay.
One recently, I don't know if it's posted yet, actual cables and pipes going through.
Right.
Because that was some feedback. You've not actually showed cables or pipes going through, so we have now.
Okay.
Yeah, just waiting for...
Yeah, so I think you'll have to jump on ours on LinkedIn and other social media platforms to give the education. We didn't have any 2 weeks ago, did we?
No.
This is brand new to us.
Any chance to have a fire on a Friday afternoon? I'm in.
Yeah. It's
We're going to need a new bottle of gas for that talk soon, actually. I must tell you that. It's had some hammer this week.
It certainly has. Cableboss?
Yeah, so patents again, really. I think we've all been through that whole process. If you've had a patent from anybody, have you got a patent on that? You've got a patent on that. So you think, you then talk about that.
Being helpful or saying they're about to rip you off?
No, I think actually most people say, well, that's a good idea. Have you got a patent on it? So it's a continual debate in your mind. The first thing the patent office says is, oh, no, it exists already. And then you have to fight. And obviously every time the patent office say no, then your lawyer will charge you something to respond. So it's an ongoing debate of how much money do you sink into this, and then you do get the patent. With the new metal brackets, we're in patent pending. So yeah, those costs will rack up, but you have to do it. You know, there's no other option really. You want to protect your product. You think it's a great product. You don't want somebody copying it. And after the effort that we've all put in, you feel you owe it to yourself to spend that money. But there's a whole lot of other money to spend as well, and you've got to believe.
Now, so you're in your new family, 4-month-old.
Yeah.
Obviously, have you got a patent that you're shelling out money for as well?
Yeah, 100%. So I started off with, Spurlok about nearly 10 years ago now. And I think I got my patent granted not last year, the year before. So I've got a full patent, and I've also got a divisional patent for the locking bar component of Spurlok as well. And essentially that is one means of me protecting my intellectual property. But another big hot part of it, I think, is branding as well. It's protecting your branding, because if you get your branding right, and you build yourself a product that is that holds a cornerstone in the industry, that'll hold weight long after your patent expires. For example, something like Hoover. Hoover is a household name, but it's also it was a product that people associated with that name, and long after any of their patents sort of expired, people still refer to it as Hoover. Spurlok is a similar thing. I would like to think that by the time they're in 25 years or however long it is, Spurlok, the patent for Spurlok expires, that people will just think, fuse spur unit, Spurlok, and I think it's about getting the branding right and also just drilling that home so people can sort of start to associate your product with a function and you be the best in class for your division, whatever that is.
Yeah, Ben, so you're not quite a patent yet, are you? Are you...
Yeah, patent pending on that one, yeah. I mean, I submitted my patent last year, so it's not yet at that point where it's going to be made public. But I was keen to get the ball rolling, get the idea out there. The patent lasts for when you first apply, so provided that you get it in before you give the idea to the world, you show it, you make it publicly available. That's obviously what you need to do, but it's the difficult decision is deciding whether or not you go into that, because you might not have an idea that sells. So it's a risk. There's that risk there, but the reward follows risk. So should you do your job well enough and you provide enough value and you create a product that's genuinely going to help people, it makes things quicker and easier and simpler. I think it's probably worth protecting yourself in that way, because we don't have much to protect us otherwise. It can be quite cutthroat, and as you quite rightly say, anyone can go and make a box. That's essentially what it is, with a few different components in there. But the system that exists, the process is what I've protected. The idea of the 4 core elements, when brought together, delivers a platform which I think is genuinely valuable and helpful to those that are installing this gear and have done for some time. So that's why I decided to get that patent done.
Yeah. And it already sounded like an incredibly difficult process. Dare I ask, Pete, how many patents you've had a rip at?
I'm entirely cynical of the whole approach.
Right.
The average patent costs 10 grand to get through. You've got the best patent in the world, you've waited 3 years for it to go through, it takes a minimum of a year. Someone copies it, there isn't a patent police. Nobody's going to go out there and stop them doing it. So when I started doing these, I probably shouldn't drop.
No, don't name that. No, leave that. No. Let's go for adverts.
The biggest name in the plastering industry, a representative of them I had a meeting with, they said, yeah, they're all right. They're all right. So what is this meeting for? Are we looking to license it, or do you want to make me an offer for the whole thing? And he said, well, see what, really, if we want to copy it, we just copy it. I've got patent pending on it. Yeah, but we could do the copy registered at our New York office, and then you've got to sue us. So we'll probably use a high court. So you'll need a barrister. Oh yeah, and you have to go to New York because we're suing you from New York. Or we might do it from the Philippines. We've got an office out there. And a major German electrical company, I had exactly the same conversation. They said, look, if we want to copy it, we'll copy it. So basically, patents are not worth having at all. Yeah, it's a good thing, and it's great to have your...
Probably depends where you are on the food chain. Yeah. I'd imagine if Apple have got a few patents, they ain't too worried, are they? They're going to get theirs nicked off them, are they? But yeah, I see what you... Yeah, but in the smaller fry...
One of the things I say, it all depends on how determined you are to enforce it. I think that if you are tentative with your intentions behind a product and you aren't 100% sure whether you are willing to risk it all for that particular product, then I can understand you having some sort of short, maybe not being as confident to go forward and pursue it. But I think when you put yourself in a position where failure is no longer an option, then you'll be surprised at how far you'll push yourself. I mean, for me personally, I feel like I've put blood, sweat and tears into my product, and I've protected it duly. And if anyone was to try and copy the product and do it successfully, to me, it would be I wouldn't be able to stand back and sort of just do nothing to let that happen. So they are there, and they are there for a reason. They do work. It's all about how willing you are to enforce them. And that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day.
And that can actually swing around, actually, because I don't know if people know the patents. It's, say if you went after say that German company copied the product and went on to sell millions of units, yeah, you would get a lawyer to fight that for you. Because if you win a patent dispute,
The German company did do that with a certain type of junction box.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how did you get away with that? Because I used those junction boxes, they were great, and then you brought them out, and they were a little bit better, so I started using yours. But I did think at the time, surely they got protection on it, because it was a unique idea. And he said, oh yeah, they gave us a cease and desist notice immediately.
Yeah.
But it was 3 years before it got sorted in a courtroom.
Yeah, it takes a long time, but you've got to remember...
Be backdated as well.
It's backdated, but it's the award, if someone's infringed a patent and it's a strong patent, is the money is the profit you would have made selling that product. So it can be, and I've been on the receiving end of this, where someone has
borrowed your idea.
It used to happen a lot in the US. People would buy a company that had a very strong patent and then start basically prosecuting the people who were abusing the patent. It happens a lot of times. So don't assume just because you're a small company, there is a value in it, but people forget it's the profit that you would have made on it. And that can be, if someone, sometimes it happens a lot, people wait, someone, we call it a sleeper patent, they'll have a patent, they'll know somebody's infringed on it, and they're just waiting for them to sell enough products to make it worth a while going after. So.
And again, for me, and again, this is going to be not terrible, but is that if someone made a Stanic, okay, maybe they've got Endeavour and obviously Bella in there, right? So make an equivalent of that, people would go, when your brand's out there, they'd go, oh, that's a Stanic. Yeah. Oh, no, it isn't. Because you'll be got there. Oh, it's a Spurlok. That's a Cableboss. Yeah, it's a speaker. You just know. Oh, that's PC products. It's BeadMaster. You've got everyone's attention on your product, so they're going to nick a Lighthouse, but going to use your term for the one that actually is the stolen idea.
And that can be the stronger one, actually.
Yeah.
So a trademark lasts forever.
Yeah.
It's if you start using the word tarmac, you'll get a letter. Yeah. You can do tarmacadam driveways, but if you put tarmac on there, what was the one I got the other week? Variac. You heard of a Variac?
Yeah.
Variable AC.
Yeah, triac type thing.
It's a trademark of an American company, so I was basically told, stop using the word. If you're using the word Variac, it's for a nice company in the US. They're lovely people.
Yeah. But stop.
But stop. Yeah. And if you're using that one that comes from Hoddington in Hertfordshire, you'll have to call it something else.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. I was reliably informed that's the situation.
Right. Okay. Wow. Okay, I need a little bit.
He's gone to the background, haven't you? There, you don't realise these letters you're causing me trouble with.
I do. Yeah, we have many a conversation about them. I just need a mini break. Shall we have a little break now? I think we've got me and LEW. Let's see what I had with LEW. Find out what else we can. I'd like to thank LEW Electrical Distributors, the sponsors of tonight's live stream, an independent electrical wholesalers with 18 branches across Lincolnshire, Yorkshire, Greater Manchester, Teesside, Cambridgeshire, Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire, offering customer service the best possible experience of product choice as well as incredible value. In order to introduce you to LEW's award-winning service, we're offering you a chance to get £50 off your first £250 or more order. But that's not it. LEW are also offering you a chance to win Premier Class tickets for yourself and 3 others for the Christopher Eubank Conor Bain on Saturday the 26th of April at the Tottenham Hotspurs Football Stadium. You can enjoy the fight in padded seats and an exclusive access to the lounge. Unfortunately for some, this is only open for new customers. Just visit the link, which is www.lewelectrical.co.uk/eFIXX. The link will also be in the description. Once you fill in your details, you'll be emailed your £50 voucher off your first purchase, as well as being entered into the chance to win those amazing tickets to see the boxing. The draw will be on April the 2nd here on eFIXX TV. So what are you waiting for? I alluded to it at the very start. It suggests there are 4 tickets. 1 for yourself, so leaving 3 remaining ones. 2 of the remaining tickets will be for Gary Hayes and Marcus Barrett. We'd like to join you on this adventure because we had tickets to see the Conor Ben versus Let's go with Junior. Just call him Junior because he's obviously got egg all over the other one's face. We had tickets for that fight and 3 days to go. We got a place in London booked, a little 3-bed apartment overlooking, and we never got there. So if you want to make my dreams come true, go on to the link in the description, get your 50 quid back off your first 250 quid or more order, and get yourself registered for the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on the 26th, I think it is, of April. And I'd love me and my mate Marcus to join you in all the fun. Thank you very much. Please, please, please. That's good. We're going to, there you go. So LEW, can't stop giving you reasons to join them, can you? I've listed the places there as well, 18 different...
Where they're spreading the car, they're well across the border.
They are, yes. Yeah, they're not...
Insurgents. they're into Cumbria now, is it?
Get to Sunderland before you know it.
They're in Stockton.
Oh, no, they are. Taking the mix.
Is that the northernmost branch of LEW, do you think?
It won't be far off, I don't think, Preston Farm Industrial Estate.
Yeah.
It's good.
There you go.
It's good.
You like going up there, anyway, can't you?
Yeah, I do. I've been to the Middlesbrough Transport Bridge. I went on holiday once to go across the Middlesbrough Transport Bridge. Which TV programme do you think I really loved?
Of Weirdest Impact.
Absolutely, and I did that. That was part of, a good journey. Just a quick one for me. My mum's not very well at the moment. She's in hospital. She's struggling away a little bit at the moment. So for the first time ever, I'd like to give my mum a shout out at this point. She'll never see it. Sometimes you do these things to yourself. She hasn't even got a TV in a hospital bed and she doesn't know how to work an iPhone or an iPad. She's currently had her burner phone replaced. Allegedly, she dropped it in the hospital and it smashed on the floor. Right. We think, because she wasn't at home, she wanted to clear the memory. Burner phone, no traceable. We had to replace it with a slightly different one. Okay, you've still got a wits about her. Okay, as we go through on that one. We've got a race wall coming up very shortly, so it means you're going to have to find out first of all. Shall we do it first of all? Which 2 people from us do you think are in the final 6? Boy, all you have to do is leave a comment. Just have a little bit of fun now. Do you think Electrician Ben made it? Do you think Nemo made it? I said it wrong again, didn't I? Nemo. Is it Nemo?
Neo.
I still can't get it. Nail. I've just ruined it all night. And you're the only one I knew when they arrived. I knew I was going to get your name right. You changed your name on arrival. Mark. Do you think Mark is? So we've got those 2 down there. Do you think Mark has gone through to the final? Or do you think Plasterer Pete's in the chance of being one of the... You could get there. Mick, you got a bit of electrical, but how many years have you been an electrician?
Too long.
Too long. You're 60, so you must have been a good while.
A little while, yeah.
6-week course as well, wasn't it? That took forever to get qualified, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, how long was your training?
15th edition.
5 years or 4?
4.
Oh, right, 4. OK, that's good. So, first of all, try and get the names right of the people that might have got through. See if you can bash some of those in a couple of minutes' time. We'll see which 2 made the final, and they'll get the names on the race wall, won't they? The other people, they get home with BFH.
Yes, bus fare home.
Yeah, absolutely, for the really old people amongst us. I'll give us another question. Let's find another one, unless you've got a juicy one in there. You got a juicy question? You got 20 seconds, Ben, to sell me your product, and I'm a little bit sceptical, so I'm not sold on the idea, but you've only got 20 seconds to convince me, as either an electrician or a customer, that I should be using your product.
Yeah, well, the good news is that this stuff's been going in for years now. None of that stuff in there is new. It's been out there for some time. This is just an optimised way of doing it. It speeds it up, it makes it easier, and there's much more to be said by doing it that way and just making it look that professional look. Simple solution is what customers like. They can see the quality because it's simple.
Now,
Spurlok is the gold standard for fuse spur unit isolation. I could stop there really, but I've got 17 more seconds to spare. So
it's like a speed limit. It's not a target. It's a suggested maximum. Yeah. Okay.
all the way down.
Do it again because I've interrupted.
Yeah,
do your
exactly.
gold standard bit.
We'll have to rewind it. So Spurlok is a gold standard for fuse spur unit isolation. It's versatile, compatible with all types of fuse spur unit. It complies with regulation, BS 7671, Gas Safe Technical Bulletin 118A, electricity at work regulations, and it contains everything needed to get maximum value out of a fuse spur lockout.
And hopefully the similar board to here, with a bit of luck, you're going to allow me to travel around the country with it and show people those as well. So that would be really nice. I only need one. I'm not going to take the mick and try and drop one off at everyone, but thank you. Pete, just 20 seconds. I'm a sceptic, OK? Convince me.
On the top.
Yeah, on the timer. He's wasted 4 seconds getting up.
When my beads are fitted, one of the things is that these type of mounting plates, fall inside the bead.
Yep.
So
Thermostats.
they can't be
Yeah,
adjusted.
central heating.
Yeah.
So you show me all the weaker features of it. That's not a good start. I'm a sceptic.
Yeah, yes, I've literally had about 4 complaints, believe it or not, in the whole 750,000 units have gone out.
Wow.
And there's been about 4 actual complaints, which is astounds me, to be honest. But that is one of them, that these type of things can't be used with my beads. So I come up with that, which converts it to a round, and that's what I'm sort of here to push, really.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
But the so with that, it effectively turns it into the European round plate.
Okay.
So
For the first time ever, square pegs can go in round holes thanks to paint. Yeah, is that right? That could be your catchphrase. Square pegs can go into round holes thanks to this product. Yeah?
yes,
I like that. You can have that one. Freebie. When you've sold 750,000 units, you're going to remember me, ain't you, mate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we're
give you a
gonna-
call.
Yeah. Tell you where you're on holiday. Third holiday this month. Yeah, whereabouts in the world, eh? So, 20 seconds. I'm a skeptic. I don't know why I'd be a skeptic.
No.
No, but I'm a skeptic. Yeah, go on. Tell me why I need
Just
it.
makes life easy and simple. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it is. It's just breathtaking. It hasn't been out there.
That's right.
Mark?
If your cables get moved in ceilings, if the answer is yes, then that's really simple. If you want quick and easy installs of cables in commercial buildings, you've got premature protection about premature collapse. Oh, this side of your existing cable tray, you've extended your tray. It's just quick and easy installs of cables.
We just need some footage of that on site at one of those Sainsbury's in vertical, and we'll turn that into something for you.
Brilliant.
Mark?
For years, the first fix, the way of doing things has always been the same, and people just put up with it. The SpeedCutter will allow basically future-proofing, no making good of plasterboard, therefore saving time and money of closing up the ceiling and making it compliant with fire stopping.
I think we need a fire one at some point, don't we? Because our knowledge is miles beyond on this subject. So if ours is a little bit ropey, we get some experts in to help us with our CPD, can't we, on fire containment and fire spread.
Yeah, it's got a whiff of ventilation again.
Yeah, it has.
You don't need special certification from the NIC, EIC, do you? to do fire barriers? It's not
No, it's just it needs to be compliant.
Right.
And because the product itself has been tested, it's got classification.
Yeah.
As long as it's installed correctly, and I don't know how you could install it incorrectly, it's compliant.
Right. Believe me.
I'm giving it a break. Rick's had a nightmare recently about installing things incorrectly. Look, he's back there. My mum's not well.
Hold on, we're going to revisit that when you're away next week.
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah,
I've got no
Stuart's
problem with that.
inquiry.
And also it's sustainable as well, because
Yeah.
no tubes are mastic.
Okay, yeah, and you said there's a chance that somebody could grab the wrong tube. Maybe it isn't a fire
Yeah.
retardant. When
And
it's
no
gone
one
into-
ever know, 'cause most
no,
of
they
it's
wouldn't.
white
They will
plastic.
one day, potentially.
Oh yeah, God forbid.
It's your bit now. We can do the countdown, haven't we?
It is, but we're on a bit of a lag, so I already put in the thing for who's made it through the final. People hope it's Stanic. Angela Dickens, is that a relative of yours?
Yeah.
Who's that?
One of my sisters.
One of your sisters?
How many sisters you got?
4.
Are they all little sisters?
Oh, younger sisters.
No, I meant little ones.
No, they're actually taller than me.
No, all of them.
3 of them.
Oh wow! Oh, wow.
Lots
How
of
tall
people
are
in
you?
our family is 6 footers.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
It was the week for Chris Horn, wasn't it? It was the week for Chris Horn. So as we go through, anyone else coming through there?
No, we're still on lag there, so we're going to have to. Let's sort of think. So people, Matt, who got into the
But
final?
if they're lagging, they'll catch us up and then they'll do their bit and we'll be on the
They
other.
will. Well, yeah. Okay, so we don't know who got in. Well, the good news is who did get into the final.
Well, we'll find out in a minute because we're not going to say. We're going to need the name and the time, don't you?
Good, yes.
Yeah.
So the 2 people who got in, one amazingly, and I can't believe this. People should take a good hard look at themselves in the mirror. Yeah.
Well, he does. Look at him. That's a bloke that takes a good hard look at himself
Yeah,
in the mirror.
yeah.
Look at him. He's gorgeous, isn't he?
The first person that got in was Pete, the plasterer. Yeah. Yeah.
Incredibly consistent. I can't tell you what your times are, but you're 3 times, according to Rick, we're all within 6 seconds of each other every time.
Yep. And
consistently slow.
well, we'll find out.
out.
Well, faster than other people because he got into the final.
Four people.
And the other person was actually Ben. So,
Oh, that was said Ben. Oh, Ben.
everyone thought it would be Neil.
No. Is that his name? You got that wrong.
Now,
You got it wrong.
that's because you've been saying, not you've been
I'm always getting it wrong. Massively dyslexic. He comes in, changes his name by default, walking through the door. Gee, he's had to be all over the place. And I really apologise. You're the nicest bloke in the world as well. Can't get your name right. So, so Ben's in as well. So now, what you got to do, Gordon, in order to win fabulous prizes? Should we find the fabulous
Where's
prizes?
the mushroom?
Shall we have
Do you want to bring on the mushroom?
Yeah, so we'll have a quick look here. So
we're
here
going to
comes
model the
fabulous
mushroom.
Prizes.
These mushrooms are magic.
They are. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got a.
They're solar-powered table lamp. It's ideal for those sitting outside. You can't. Yeah. Oh, he's getting it out of the box as well. Look at that. He's
Not the greatest focus, is it? What's happened to this? Yeah, lovely.
There we go.
It's got a ball dome, and as the light has as well. Yeah, there we go. Back into the real world, folks.
a little misty, soft lens
No,
there.
I don't know what happened there at all.
There we go.
Give it
So
a
if you want to win one of them, you have to put who do you think will win the challenge wall. So is it Pete the Plasterer or Ben? Whew. We haven't seen this yet. Actually, I've seen the action, but I didn't see any of the heats actually. So we'll just
This
get
has
those.
got a royal whiff of everyone's going to get it wrong, and it's absolutely reeks of everyone's getting it wrong. I'll just give you a little rundown. Pete's incredibly competitive, and if he's been short of breath today, just think he's actually got up at 3 o'clock this morning, drove all the way up here. He's got to the final of the race wall, meant he'd done it 3 times, and then he's plastered a wall with Rick already today before going out and having a meal. He hates spicy food, so he went to an Indian restaurant. So he's had a struggle down there, and he's come in and he's in that position. Okay, so just don't be eluded by the old. That's more like I can't believe I won breaths. So last chance, folks. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Pete? Is it going to be Ben? You need to put the right name, right time. You get one guess. The winner will get those amazing lights. And that's what's going to happen now. We have no idea who's coming up first. Defend yourself. Anyone can talk at any time. If they get in front of me,
Ready,
welcome.
yeah.
Here we go then, folks. We're 60 seconds away from it, and we're off and running. Who we're going to get first? It's usually a good sign. The first person is usually a good sign. The first person is...
It's Ben.
Here
Right,
we go, Ben.
here we go.
Ambles across to the screws within the consumer unit.
First time when these house tools have been out there, so no excuse for blunt blades or anything. These are pristine.
They are, because they're off our new shadow board. Went back to my college days. Thank you ever so much. As said at the start of it, the De-Klein tools are supporting the eFIXX wall for the electricians, stroke plasterers, showed carpenters this week. Builders are in there. Everyone's in there.
This is good. You're down. They've removed the screws and slacking everything off. This is methodical. This.
Yeah. The screws at the top then dropped. I
Yeah.
quite like that, so that was good. So this was
hold on,
different.
this is different.
And that, I said to him before you start, if you struggle to get it in, you struggle to get it out. I thought, no chance. I'm on the camera, and he got it out.
Wow.
He didn't slip out easily, but he didn't have a rerun. I'm ripping into him there. Absolutely ripping into him. saying, I couldn't believe that lump was going to get up there. I think you modified your techniques on the next 2 runs. I don't think you went with that lumpy technique moving forward.
Yeah,
Remember, we see the first attempt. We had 6 first attempts. One of them took over 12 minutes. We're not naming that person Mark. We'll keep your secret with us. But we've got 2 Marks, so they both took a kicking for that. I will not define which one it is, because that means I've got to remember the surname. So here we go then. So this looks like you got an idea, Mark.
Yeah, in the right
even knows
tables,
Ben.
yeah.
So it's all good. Now, you didn't want to wire this, because you said you only wired to the actual supply source, to a receiver, and then now there's another bit on the other end of it. You thought this was pointless in order to do it. And you did a split and go. Yeah. But I think you attempted. Did you attempt to get that in the back box?
I did.
Rookie mistake. I think
Yeah,
I gave you a little bit of...
change tack midway.
I think I told you.
You normally side cutters for stripping, or your automatic wire strippers? Choppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CK choppers here.
Well, I'd just like to say we're sponsored by De-Klein Tools for the first time ever in 3.5 years. I'd just like to say the De-Klein Tools are
We should ask
amazing.
for some croppers, actually.
Yeah, well, we could do, but I'm knowing I've got to make another one on my shadow board. It's got 4.
Well,
looks
it
nice.
does.
They've got automatic wire
I do
strippers.
like your
They're
shadow
brilliant.
board, actually. That's good, actually. That's one of your best bits of art you've done, actually.
Yeah.
Like an LS Lousy.
Here we go then. So into socket. Remember, 3 attempts. We're seeing attempt number 1.
Look at that there. Your head was gone there with the screwdriver there. Did you see that? Watch. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see. Look at that. Look at the head. It's rocking it there.
I'm like combating the
nerves.
This is actually looking quite good there. Will he rock the head again with the screws going in? Let's have a look. That's what you got.
Classic pressure though, because you were actually getting yourself knocked out, so you didn't have a chance to have a first free hit at it. Oh, we lost the screw.
Oh dear.
So, yeah,
No.
this was
That was going well until this point.
This got through. You want to see what we actually...
Look at that head going again there, like that.
Well, we know who's next. It's our favourite plasterer. Oh, no, it's Pete. There we go, then. So we're off and running. Like the glasses, making sure your forehead has perfect vision as it comes into play at any point. Yeah, screw on the floor. We had lots of screws on the floor. Notice the screwdriver. He declined the Kleins in the end because he went out and got his own screwdriver. He only uses 2 tools to complete the entire thing. Okay, we can't count tape as tools. It's tape, a pair of pliers and a screwdriver that looks more like a Bradle. It's opened more tins of paint than I've had hot dinners. So we've got him. So we're hoping. Didn't straight in the end. He just went straight in. He took my advice and just forgot about it.
Oh, there's that tongue out there.
Yeah, well, we had lots of gurning. Hopefully we had some great shots. Yeah, it was full-on tongue out at times. Here we go. Look again. Is it?
Oh,
yes. Yes. Plenty of. I tried to get some side slatter. It was my side, the tongue. Yeah. Keeping them eyebrow hairs down with a little lick on the left, lick on the right, and we're away. Hey! We went full oral. Yeah. What was good though, the end of the screwdriver that isn't a Klein tool that are supporting the race wall, it actually got a spinning end. So at times, wedged
glasses are on, getting technical.
Wedged against different tongues out, wedged against different parts of his body.
Oh, look at that.
I'll have this job done in a lick. Yes, as we go in here. So again, consumer unit, no problems. He knew where all the terminations were. I can't suggest every electrician in here knew where they were going. We're not going to name these people, but somebody thought the RCBO had the neutral in the neutral bar. So that would have been an interesting energisation moment. I won't name them. It's embarrassing. Totally let themselves down. How they invented the Spurlok, I'll never know. So, yeah. So here we go. Just the CPC to go within the consumer unit. Looking good. We're in the Leaderboard. Obviously, you can get them black and white. Black's on trend finish at the moment with their miniature RCBOs in there. All A types. We're just a socket away. Notice 2 tools. I don't think...
They're pliers.
Yeah, pliers again. I don't think I've ever seen anyone just do it with 2 tools for a long time.
MacGyver.
Yeah. Wrenching it off. Okay. Now you're going to think to yourself, there's a mistake here. I want everybody to spot the mistake. Now, I didn't just give a 20-second penalty for this. I gave a minute penalty. Okay, so there is a penalty here, folks. See if you can spot it. Using the old belly again, that's what it sticks out so far. So it reached the screwdriver, which is always handy. So in we go. Oh, look at that, eh? Your living room carpet's threadbare in places. So we're just a couple of connections away. 1 CPC going into the middle
The mouth open now. We've lost the tongue now.
Oh, yeah. We're gasping
fly
for air at this stage. Yeah, we're trying to get as much air in that body as we can.
Sorry for talking with you, though. You're distracting me.
Yeah, it was great if you could have had the audio. So what did we miss, folks? We missed the fly lead. There was uproar. Okay, so I got the times come through and I gave Pete a 60-second penalty and he still came second. That shows you how appalling the other 4 were. It was awful. There was only 2 people. Look, yeah, swept up on the way. Look, ambled to his feet. Yeah, crushed it with a nice, juicy 60-second penalty. Okay, I had to be fair, but I didn't think it'd take 60 seconds to do 2 ends. So.
Yeah.
And he was still comfortably. I think I could have given a 64-second penalty before we had an issue on that one. But that wasn't necessarily your fastest time. I'll let you know it wasn't, because that was your first run. You did both improve as you went throughout the race walls. So are you going to start with Gordon?
Oh, geez, this is... I'll start with Pete.
Still not the clearest. I don't know what's wrong with this. Still not the clearest. Who are you starting with?
I'm starting with Pete.
Pete?
Yeah.
OK.
So
Where do you think you come, Pete?
Over here.
Yeah. Second.
Second.
Second?
Is he over there? I don't actually know where he is. I don't know what he's done.
About that.
Yeah.
He's over here?
Probably at the bottom.
Oh, no, actually, no,
he's back. He's coming back.
We're back.
We're back. We're not very high then, I take it.
We're not very high. I'm going down.
Oh, hang on. Ben will invent something to solve this. His knees were killing him on site one time.
Yeah.
How do you think you're done then? I can't see anything on the tongue.
We're in the 5s.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll be on this wall for a while.
Yeah.
I'm just shoving Bruce down there, like designer Bruce.
Bruce is down.
Bruce is down at the bottom.
Anyone else?
And Pete slips in there at 5:29.
Oh, it's on the main board. It's on the electricians board there. That's brilliant.
It is.
Well done, Pete. Now, that does mean that we're coming over here, I bet. Here we go. My daughter did it in 7 minutes and 2 seconds with one hand. How embarrassing is it for the other 4 of you? With one hand. She was 12. Where are we, Gordon?
Well, I'll just point out before I go. We are on this board.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a new rack.
We have got a new rack. It's multi-purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Cableboss. Yeah.
Cableboss here.
It's got 2 functions now. It holds the the dry board wipe, the pens for the dry board.
Which we can never find.
Which we can never find. So I'll know they're all in there now. That's where they live. Yeah, and it also marks the barrier between outrageous times.
Okay, outrageous territory,
with, Neil Bridgman, you said that.
Outrageous.
So, sub 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And the good news is, actually, Ben is not in outrageous territory. He's actually in the 3 minutes. He's in the 3 minutes.
Let's have an all here from the audience. Oh. 59.
No. He did it in 3 minutes and 38, which just puts him in there amongst Lee Roach and Secret Millionaire.
Oh, we get another one down. Yeah, look at that.
Secret Millionaire Craig Gifford.
Mr. Gifford.
And he was at the top a couple of years ago. That would have been, up there at the top. That's good territory, that. That's
round of applause, folks.
Yeah.
Well done, Ben. You got faster and faster and faster. Pete, I'd like to say you were incredibly consistent. I think 4 seconds was the split difference between all the goes. Even though we gave you a penalty on one and you still qualified. But if we gave you no penalty, there was 4 seconds between it. So you were slow on all of them. All right, brilliant. Okay. Any questions coming in from our audience? Because obviously we'll have a quick look as I shuffle through our questions here. We have got one.
Yeah. If Mick sells 750,000 units, you'll get a £50 voucher.
Oh, right. No ticket. Is that from LEW, is it? Oh, what about 2 tickets to see the boxing? That'd be nice, isn't it? I'm gutted we had tickets the first time. My mate's incredibly unlucky. Everything goes wrong for him. We were 3 days out from the fight and it was like nothing's going to go wrong. I'd booked a lovely place for us all to stay and it went absolutely pear-shaped. He said, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all, bless him. Gave him a nice CD, DVD thing for his kids, right? My kids had it and now that. He set fire to his daughter's bedroom carpet. That's how lucky he is. You know, it's like unbelievable.
What, you gave him a dodgy appliance and set fire to the house?
It might have burnt some of his daughter's bedroom. If she'd gone to sleep, it would have been and she stayed up late that night. That shows you, and he's an Arsenal fan. So he's just got no luck, has he, bless him.
Has he changed his smoke alarms recently? Obviously,
time for a change.
And if you were replacing smoke alarms, you would have to replace all of the ones in the house.
If you were changing brands?
Yes,
if you were changing just one of them...
Just like to point that out there, Gary.
If you were changing one of them, you'd have to stick to the brands that are in there.
You would, Gary. You would.
And I've got none of that wrong, have we?
No, you're absolutely right on that. Absolutely right on that. I'm sure the next letter will turn up next week.
Okay. Yep, we got away with that one, I think. Okay. Okay, I'll go for another question.
Yep.
Online retailer, huge space, huge opportunity, or a headache to what you're trying to do. Now, when I say headache, it's probably where maybe the wholesaler comes in. You're in the wholesale.
In the wholesale.
You are, Mick.
Mm-hmm, indeed.
Why can't I go on a well-known online retailer that offers next day free delivery if you've got Prime membership?
Because it takes it away from our business, the wholesalers, and gives it to the big boys. And why should they have all the cream? They'll drive the price down, kill it, stone dead, and I'll be making pennies, and the wholesalers will be finished.
Right, okay. So you think they'll crush your margin is why you haven't gone there?
Yeah.
Have you looked at it?
No.
I knew you were going to say that.
Just an interesting.
You didn't know what social media was when I was explaining to you the first time around. We'll do a video of a short. I have no idea, guys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But so you're sticking traditionally what you know. You know the wholesale world.
Yeah.
You'll live and die by the wholesale world. You'll hope they'll help you out.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, that's fair enough. You know, it's got. It'll get picked up. No one's going to wait 25 years before they come for that, are they?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So. Yeah, a little bit different position because obviously yours are a little bit more bespoke, Ben. They've been made to order. So does that take out an online retailer option?
No, I don't think so. I think there's an amount of stock that you could put aside. I mean, there's only so many variations that there's going to be to this. Essentially, you've got the housing and then you've got a receiver that you get to pick. Those options are quite limited. So I think that provided you can configure it, or at least you know what you want, then you get the unit that you know that you've probably already bought in the past. So I think it's quite achievable to have those kind of delivery times available. If of course there's that demand there.
Yeah, off the peg. So like a 4 and an 8, you can use that to suit. Right, Pete, have you ever tried doing an online retailer for sales?
That's such a complicated question.
Yeah, it's yes or no will do.
I've got somebody doing Amazon for me.
Oh, right, brilliant.
With all of our stuff, if it's stuff that doesn't have a market,
It's not a great idea, I would suggest.
if we don't have an initial customer,
Yeah.
then there's no point in putting it in a wholesaler because no one's ever going to ask for it.
Right.
And the wholesalers don't upsell, they don't push it. And generally the person that was sent to the wholesaler is the one that's most useless, otherwise it'd be still on the site.
I always used to go to wholesale. I thought it was a luxury. I always went. And I used to have picked lunch up on the way back. Breaking news.
I think initially, if you have an online shop yourself,
Yeah.
and eBay and Amazon,
We don't name them,
create your customer.
No.
And then once you've got regulars, then get the wholesalers.
Okay, you'll get. So look, and you did a lot of that online, didn't you? You were selling direct and the rest of it. Now,
I've tried it all.
yeah, I
once.
know you have. Now you're a little bit different because probably it isn't really going to be that type of consumer, is it? For the
Well, I'm hoping it'll be specified, and
Yeah.
therefore, once I've got the specification, then the wholesalers, or mainly the wholesalers, would want to stock it to service the electrical contractor or plumbing contractor
Yeah.
that has to use it.
yeah, and yeah, yours is down the specified route, so it's a little bit different market, which gives people that are watching this maybe looking at their product and thinking everyone thinks they can sell it on Amazon, but some items just don't work for Amazon.
Well, sometimes Amazon might have a bit of a bad name for themselves in terms of it's Amazon, sometimes cheaper
Yeah.
product, and whereas an electrical wholesaler or plumbing wholesaler, the trade goes there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, there's a video coming out soon. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're between got several projects on. Yeah. That we highlight. You only get what you pay for, and if you pay a lot less, unbelievably, you get a lot less.
And to be fair, it's a fire stopping product. You wouldn't want to associate health and safety fire stopping with fast track Amazon next day delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that, but the Spurlok reeks of being on there because that's the sort of thing you see on a show like this. There's a link in the description, and you do not an impulse buy, but you think, oh, I'll have one of them. You know, and when you see the product and it is top end, and you're desperate to probably get out of the box, and while you're talking, maybe I'll get out of the box. Why can't I, or can I, get them out on Amazon or a well-known online retailer?
You will be able to very soon. If you don't count Spurlok.com as a well-known online retailer, which you probably don't at this stage.
What can I buy on there?
Yeah, you can buy the Spurlok on there.
What else?
Stanic.
What else?
BeadMaster, fire stop in front of us. The SpeedCutter's on there.
We'll be diversifying to Amazon within the year. I think a bit like Pete alluded to, for me, finding your customer is the first step, and sort of building a rapport with them, understanding sort of how they tick, what they want, where they buy their products. I think there is something to be said for quick, accessible products. I mean, we're all electricians or have got electrical background or construction background, but I'm sure we've all got Amazon accounts as well. So it's like, you know, just because we are in the trade, we don't have to be excluded from, you know, Amazon and sort of convenient ways of getting products as well. So, yeah, definitely will be something for the future.
Is that done you in? Because I broke the seal on that. I will swap that for one of mine. I will swap that one of mine that I've got.
That's fine. That's fine. The seal was already broken, but yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, you told me the first time you did it, you went for Amazon-style packaging, which you absolutely have, and it's just a glorious big kit. But that's the sort of thing I just want to go and buy, even if it was just because I like to keep stuff. I'm obviously going to use it the same, but I want to keep this.
Definitely. Well, funnily enough, I said to my dad when I was thinking of the early iterations of the packaging, I said to my dad, I said, "Where's your the case for the phone you've got? Because I had this nice iPhone." And he said, "Oh, it's at home somewhere." I said, "Why haven't you thrown it away?" I said, "Because it holds some sort of value, doesn't it? Yeah. Whether we know it or not, these things do matter to us." And I think, you know, like I said, we are electricians, we are people of the trade, but it doesn't mean that we can't buy nice things and have nice things and you know, show things off a bit. So yeah, there you have it.
Talking about having nice things, you only have to go to a very expensive builder. Okay, so online retailer. Well, just again, you know, we've never seen a builder with a shabby house, have you? Once they can lay them bricks, they've got where there's a will, there's a mate. If you're a bricklayer, you've got lots of mates.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm expecting I can get this on an online retailer.
Yeah, we're not actually on those said retailers just yet. But I think for us, We also are obviously on our own website, Cableboss.co.uk, but we're also trying to work with those wholesalers as well. We recognise that our customer base is going to be thinking about they need cable, they need a whole range of products when they go to those wholesalers, so they should be picking up, hopefully, our brackets at the same time. If you're buying cable tray, why don't you extend your tray with our Cableboss brackets or metal brackets as well? So is a mixture of basket of products they're going to buy, and we want to be obviously included as part of that basket.
Yeah. And I would say a lot of the electricians we work with, some of them aren't the best planned in the world and may just decide what they need for the job in that particular hour. And obviously we've noticed a pattern here about who goes to the wholesalers, haven't we, Gary?
Well, it's easy, mate.
No. On a Friday.
Oh, on a Friday, Pie Boy. Let's have a look at Pie Boy over there. Come on, I'll zoom into him. There he is. Look at him, cheeky. Give us one of them cheeky winks, yeah? Every Friday. Just incredible.
I can guarantee there's always something needs picking up on a Friday when there's free pies behind the counter.
Yeah. He's only just realised we've got a really good relationship with we won't mention them because we're obviously with LEW today, but we've got a really good relationship with ours, so we get a very heavily discounted price on our stuff, about 100%, don't we?
Yeah.
But Rick didn't realise this, so when he's been going up there and ordering his own stuff, he's now forgetting to mention it's for him. Yeah, we're having a pie and we'll have this for eFIXX and that. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? We're doing well, aren't you? He's got the best job in the world. We're trying to get rid of all this stuff around here and you're fitting it everywhere. Must have that one on the tax done again, though, at some point. I think
the 11D employee benefit.
It might be worth having a refresh on when the tax threshold kicks in for certain activities that people are carrying out. We're a little bit behind. Have we got any idea whether anyone's got the race wall number out there in the wild? Is it gone out there?
Yeah, it's out there.
OK, so we'll find out whether we get a phone call.
Jason's one. There you go. Jenny's on it.
Jenny's on it.
That burner phone to come any minute soon.
So we're waiting for a call to come in on that one. We may get a chance to jump over to Jenny at some point.
I think we're nearly through as well.
Oh, yeah, but we've got to give the winner. I'm going to go with this one.
I felt like I was going so much faster than that.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm just going to go with this one. So, dog winner, did you ever have a moment when you thought this may not work? And I'm going to do you first, because you've had a journey, Mark, and we'll come back to you, Mark, on the second one on this. Was there a moment you lay in bed and you're thinking to yourself, I'm not putting words in your mouth, I'm just suggesting it, where you're sweating, you put a lot of effort in and all the rest of it, and maybe feedback's not what you thought it was going to be, you thought, so talk us through that.
Yeah, no, sometimes, I think sometimes you create a new product, people will say, you've created a product for a problem that doesn't exist. And you hear that. I've driven to wholesalers who would turn around and say, I don't think I can sell this, and then you do sell it in half an hour at a wholesaler branch. So you are, as inventors, you're going to expect some negative feedback. Hopefully, that's outweighed by the positive feedback. But yeah, you do get that negative comments. And it's hard to, when you're passionate about your product, you've thought about it, you've invented it, you've twisted it. Even these brackets, well, they look simple, but there's 5, 6, 7, 10 versions to get to what you've got now, and you probably still think there could be something I could do to improve it. So it is an ongoing, iterative process, and you get negative feedback, but hopefully there's a lot more positive feedback that counteracts it.
Now, you must have had many a sleepless night with your ropey little idea. You never thought that was going to take off, did you, Mick? You couldn't it wasn't good. But some people have given you some negative feedback or things that they'd like to see in your product, right? OK, just give us a couple of examples.
Does it come in any other colour?
Let's think of its location. Where is it going to sit for the entire life of it?
Behind the oven.
OK, and when you do get to see it again, it's probably not going to be as white, brown, blue, orange, or whatever colour you set out in, is it? OK, so there's one. Anything else they thought you could do with it?
Does it come with rounded corners?
And where's it going to live for its entire life?
Behind the oven.
Yeah. You can't, you just like... It also doesn't come with any other matching accessories in the range, because it doesn't need to, because where's it live?
Behind the oven.
Behind the oven. It just can't be anything.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't done a raw edge brass finish. There you go.
It's like, where do these people come from? You
never know on the kitchen now. There could be that industrial look, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Some people just like to leave stuff floating around the kitchen, bit of conduit on the wall. Yeah.
Mark?
Not so much negative, but has it got any other testing, i.e. an hour? Can it go through masonry? The hour testing, sorry.
So masonry then?
Yeah.
So going with non-combustible like masonry wood still has to be fire sealed?
Yeah.
Okay,
but usually a block will be an hour anyway.
Right.
But obviously those teeth are not designed to go through masonry.
No, they're not.
So I've already thought of that, if and when it does come about, it'll just be removable. a removable tip, diamond tip.
Yeah.
That you would reuse that because that's where the cost is, and just use it as a plug rather than the drywall solution.
Got the first application for it, Mark. Yeah. The cable hanging in the corner over there. You see, just there's a black cable coiled up there. That's got to go onto the next unit. That's their solar panels that are on our roof. We've got to pass it through next door.
Yeah.
I was just going to get some mastic from down at the wholesaler.
On a Friday.
On a Friday.
Send Rick down. Rick.
Yeah, so that's when you didn't fire barrier, passing it through to another building.
Yeah, we feel these are one building, they're not separated. Yeah, it's just mad. What you don't know is what you don't know, isn't it? So we've got a winner. They're on the phone now. Hopefully they've got those lights. I'd love to go through all the names, but maybe I'll struggle with some of them, even though I still can't get it. It's Nao.
Yeah, there we go.
At last.
Right at the end. We'd like to thank Nao for coming in. So we'd like to thank Ben also for joining us. We'd like to thank Pete. You've been wonderful, Pete, to get up that early and all the stuff you've done for us today. It's been marvellous. Mark, you've been an absolute pleasure. You've got the best giggle ever on there. And we couldn't get the sound didn't work on the thing. I was making you laugh like you couldn't believe. You're a legend, okay? A little one, but you're a legend. We hope to see you. Yeah, we hope to see you a bit more when you come down from Sunderland. Mark, everybody who's ever met you always says you're a lovely bloke.
Oh.
They do. It doesn't matter who you speak to. That is, it's Mark, lovely bloke from Cableboss.
Oh.
Okay, which is brilliant.
Appreciate
and Ben, we had dinner last night. It was fantastic, wasn't it? Okay, it was. We had some fun. And the Spurlok. One of my favourite little inventions from anyone, especially a 30 under 30 winner. So congratulations and thank you very much for your support on eFIXX College Connections. We've also had, obviously, Electrismo with the time-saving adapter, which is in front of us now, that's sold out in less than 24 hours thanks to the video I made that made millions of views. Their video comes out. It's third in the series. Empire Strikes Back didn't do as well. Sorry, Return of the Jedi didn't do as well as Empire Strikes Back. I made Star Wars, so I'm quite happy with the one I made. The pressure's on them as we go through there. Also, our good friends at CHUMPFix. I think that's an incredible little product for what it does. I think it's going to save people a lot of time and struggling around for a decent fixing. It's been a great show. We've had a great day. It's been a long and hectic day, hasn't it?
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are some great products. I would say check them out. You'll be seeing. We've got some short videos. We'll do some re-promotion after the show. I'll obviously bring up some websites or online retailers if that's where the traffic's going. But yeah, great. I've enjoyed today.
And we'd like to thank LEW for their continued support of the live stream, as well as our first ever sponsor of our tools when we had the good people from Klein joining us as well. And they won. They were the fastest out of everyone that did it. So Pete with his plastering screwdriver, he didn't win either. Again, just like to say to me mum, hopefully she can get on all right. She's got a few tough days ahead of her, but we need to listen to the song so we can all smile our way out. And we will see you in 1 week's time. We're shuffling it up a bit, but I possibly won't be here. Let's roll the end.
Out on site, another day, wrestling wires, dust and clay. Scratched my head and thought, no way, there has to be a better way. So they built it, fixed it, made it fast, took those problems, kicked their past. Now we're working smarter, not all day, cause there had to be a better way. SpeedCutter, sealing tight, Stanic gets your hog just right. Lighthouse keeps your smart home bright, and Cableboss pure cable might. BeadMaster smooth, no plaster fights. Spurlok locks in safe and tight. CHUMPFix boom, no falling screws. And Electrismo plug and cruise. Yeah, they built it, fixed it, made it fast. Took those problems, kicked their past. Now we're working smarter, not all day, cause there had to be a better way. So if you're on site, feeling stuck, dropping tools and saying, oh, flipping heck, just remember, don't dismay, some sparkies found